Hello dear students, in this subject hydraulic engineering, today I will continue that open channel flow. In the last class we discussed about energy depth relationship. In that we discussed critical flow, subcritical flow, supercritical flow, and we derived the condition for critical flow. That is Q square by G equal to AQ by T. This is the general equation of critical flow in any type of channel, in any shape of channel. Q square by G equal to AQ by T, where Q is the discharge, G is the acceleration due to gravity, A is the cross-sectional area, T is the top width. So here, for a particular type of cross-section will determine the condition. The depth, the critical depth will calculate, and the specific energy, that is the minimum specific energy at critical flow, that will calculate. So here, let this is a rectangular section. In rectangular section, let bottom width is B, flow depth is Y. So the top width will be equal to B, and the area will be B into Y. Top width B, cross-sectional area BY. Okay. So if you put here Q square by G equal to AQ by T, BQ by BQ into YC. YC means your critical flow depth divided by B, which is equal to B square YC cube. So YC cube will be equal to Q square by B square G. Let's consider this Q, small q, is this discharge per unit width. If you write this small q as discharge per unit width, you will get YC cube is equal to Q square by G. So YC is Q square by G to the power 1 by 3. So this is the expression for critical flow depth in a rectangular section. So this formula is important, okay, in open channel flow. If we calculate the minimum specific energy, that is at critical flow condition, the minimum specific energy, that is YC plus Q square by 2G A square. So YC plus Q square by G, Q square by G, this Q square by G, I can write this YC cube. So if you write this, it will give you 3 by 2 YC, which is 1.5 YC. So minimum specific energy for a rectangular section is 1.5 times critical depth. Next is triangular. That is Q square by G equal to AQ by T. Q square by G equal to half into 2m square. Here you see, this is the triangular section. The depth is Y. Slope is, let m is to 1. Means m horizontal, 1 vertical. If it is Y vertical, then it will be, okay, this horizontal distance will be my. Because m is the slope, means m horizontal with 1 vertical. M is to 1 is the slope. So if for Y vertical, it will be my horizontal. So this like this, here it will be my. So total will be 2my. The bottom top width will be 2my, and the area will be half into 2my into y. That is half into 2my square. That means m cube y sixth, and top width will be 2my. So if you put here, you will get Q square by G equal to m square YC fifth divided by 2. So YC will get 2 Q square by GM square to the power 1 by 5. So this is the expression for critical depth in a triangular section. The minimum specific energy for at this critical flow, it will be YC plus Q square by 2G square. So if you put this Q square by G, this m square YC fifth by 2, and this expression for A, if you put here, that is half into 2my square. Okay, so you'll get this 1.25 YC. Just simplify it, you'll get this EC, that is 1.25 YC. So this is the expression for the critical minimum specific energy at critical flow. That is 1.25 YC for a triangular section. Let's solve this example. Here it is saying that calculate bottom width of a channel to carry a discharge of 15 meter cube per second as a critical flow at a depth of 1.2 meter. If the channel section is rectangular, trapezoidal with side slope of 1.5 horizontal to 1 vertical. So till now discuss this rectangular section and triangular section. Okay. So this equations means this formulas you can remember. Okay. Triangular section this also you can remember, this also you can remember. But trapezoidal section is difficult to remember everything, this formula. That's why if you put this formula, this critical condition which is general equation for any type of shape of the channel, you can get the YC or EC. Therefore, directly I am coming to this trapezoidal section. Okay. So here for rectangular section in this question, first bit rectangular section YC q square by g to the 1 by 3. That direct formula you can put, q you can calculate. Okay, and the B is q by small q, because small q is the discharge per unit width. So this bed width you can calculate. For this trapezoidal section, it is saying 1.5 horizontal to 1 vertical the side slope. Means m is to 1 is 1.5 is to 1. So the area will be, if it is 1.5, means this m, this is m, okay. So this will be, this horizontal distance will be my, because m horizontal with 1 vertical. So for y vertical, it will be my. Similarly here, this will be my. So total top width will be b plus 2 my, and the area will be, half into this b plus this bottom width plus top width. So it will be b plus 2 my. So it will be 2b plus half into 2b plus 2 my. Okay, means this area will be half into, so which will give you b plus my into y. Okay, y you have to multiply here. Okay. Okay, so this area you can write b plus my into y. So m is 1.5, 1.2 is the floor depth. Okay, this you can get expression. The TC, the top width is b plus 2 my, b plus 36. So these two value we can put in this expression. It is q square by g equal to a cube by t. So you will get, at last you will get this type of expression. Either you solve it. Okay, it is better to solve it in trial and error method. Okay, it will be easy. So it will be b will be equal to 2.535. Okay. Okay, this is now transition in channel. So next topic is transition in channel. Transition, it can be, there can be hop, means vertical transition. There can be contraction. Okay, means width contraction. Means in lateral direction, the transition in the lateral direction. Okay, this is your B1, it changes to B2. Okay, it is B2 here. Width contraction, if there is hump in the channel, okay, then how the flow characteristics changes with this hump and contraction. Channel with the hump, when flow is subcritical flow. Flow can be subcritical, supercritical. So in these two conditions we will discuss. When flow is subcritical and when flow is supercritical, both hump and contraction. So today class I will cover only this hump. Next class I will cover this width contraction. So when flow is subcritical flow, here let this is the channel. Okay, at this section 1, it is U1. There is the specific energy. Here there is hump. So due to the hump, the specific energy, this is the TL. Okay. Here specific energy, this is the E2 specific energy, that will be decreases. That will decrease, that will be U1 minus delta Z. Okay. There is no other reason to decrease the E2. Only hump is there. Due to that hump, the E2 decreases, and that E2 is nothing but E1 minus delta Z. So which you can write y plus b2 square by 2z, that expression you can write. Okay. So as delta Z increases, it means at delta Z increases, what will happen? So if you consider the specific energy diagram, okay, depth versus specific energy diagram, here in this diagram, here discharge we are not changing, means discharge is constant. Okay. So due to the hump, the specific energy decreases. So for one particular discharge, the curve is one, only one curve you will get for a particular discharge. So E decreases. Let initially at section 1, this is the critical this specific energy E1. Okay, this is the section 1 specific energy, and E2 is less than E1, and that is how much less? That is delta Z. So this is the E2 critical specific energy at section 2. So since we are considering only subcritical flow, okay, so you should only this region we should see. Now we should ignore this this portion. Okay, only you should see this portion only. So here, if you see, then Y2, if E2 decreases, what will happen? Your depth will be, this is your EY1, this is your Y1, okay, at section 1. At section 2, E2 decreases, so this will be your Y2, this will be your Y2. Okay. So it will decrease. Again, if you increase delta Z, again if you increase, this E2 will increase and Y2 will increase, decrease. E2 will decrease, sorry, E2 will decrease and Y2 will decrease. And it will decrease up to this YC. After that, flow is not possible. So at Y2 minimum, that will be delta Z will be maximum. So here up to this, your delta Z you can provide hump. This will be your maximum hump size. So the E2 will decrease up to this EC. E2 will be EC at this delta, when delta Z is maximum. So at EC is YC plus Q square by this expression. Okay. So if you increase delta Z again after this delta Z maximum, okay, if you increase again, what will happen? So YC will not decrease from that critical flow depth. That means the flow is not possible. It means flow is not possible if delta Z is more than delta Z maximum. In that case, you have to increase this E1. You have to increase this E1 and let E1 dash. E1 dash. So your new section will be for the section 1. It will be new section. Section 1 will change. So upstream depth Y1 has to be increased to cause the flow. Okay, so E1 at the section 1, you have to increase the specific energy, so you have to increase the flow depth. This will be a Y1 dash. So at this section 1, so E1 dash will be Y1 dash, which will be EC2 plus delta Z, means critical specific energy, minimum specific energy section 2 plus delta Z, which will be Y1 dash plus Q square by this expression. So Y1, this will be your Y1 dash. This will be your Y1 dash. Q square by 2GB square, Y1 dash square. Okay. Okay, so here, so delta Z, if you provide hump, then E increases, specific energy section 2 here, it decreases and Y2 decreases. So it will decrease up to this maximum. Okay, if you provide the maximum delta Z, it will be minimum. Y2 will be minimum, that will be critical condition, critical flow. So if you increase again, then flow is not possible. Okay, in that case, you have to increase the E1. Means Y1 you have to increase, the specific energy at section 1 will increase. Next one, flow is supercritical. When flow is supercritical, Okay, here you see this region, if you see only this region. Okay, so U2 decreases if you increase the delta Z, and it will decrease. It will decrease the specific energy. Okay, but it will increase the depth. Here initially it was here, y1 is here, y2 is here. So if you increase delta Z, E2 decreases, but y2 increases. Increase, okay, it will increase up to this critical depth. Y2 increased due to reduction in specific energy. Up to Yc, Y2 increased at delta Z equal to delta Z maximum. If you provide this, will be your delta Z maximum. Okay, and this will be your maximum flow depth at section 2. That is the critical flow depth. Okay, after that, what will happen? After that, again, if you increase the delta Z, okay, when delta Z is more than this delta Z maximum, what will happen? To cause the flow, the Y1 will change. We have to change the Y1, means we have to decrease the Y1, so E1 will increase. So this will be a new specific energy. At section 1 will change. Section 1, the specific energy at section 1 will change and the depth will change. This will be a new depth that will be less than this Y1. So Y1 dash, Y1 will change, it will decrease to have a higher specific energy. So Y1 dash will be less than, Y1 dash will be less than this Y1 dash. Y1 dash will be less than this Y1. Okay. So here, but this supercritical, here if you this is subcritical, if you plot this Y1 and Y2 with delta Z, okay, I just told here, okay, in this portion, so Y2 decreases till it becomes Yc at critical flow. Y1 will remain same. Y1 you are not changing. So after this, if this is your delta Z maximum, after this again if you increase delta Z beyond this delta Z maximum, what will happen? This Y2 will remain same as Yc, but to cause the flow, this Y1 you have to increase. Only then flow is possible. Y1 we have to increase. So in supercritical flow, this is the depth Y1. Y1 will remain same. Okay, depth will increase. It will increase up to this critical flow depth. It will increase up to this critical flow depth. When up to this delta Z is delta Z maximum. After that, what will happen? After that, flow is not possible. If you increase beyond this delta Z maximum, flow is not possible. You have to decrease this. You have to decrease this Y1. Then only flow is possible. But depth at section 2 will remain at critical. That is critical depth. So here, if you see this plot only, you could understand. Okay. Okay. Again, I'm just saying that E1 initially this is your section 1. If you increase delta Z, E2 will decrease, but Y2 will increase, and it will increase up to this Yc. Okay, here it will increase up to this Yc, it will increase. After that means it will increase up to this delta Z maximum. After that, what will happen? You have to change the flow depth at section 1. That is E1 dash, and this will be a new Y1. That is Y1 dash. So this depth, it will remain constant till your delta Z is less than delta Z maximum. After that, this Y1 will decrease, and this will be a Y1 dash. But the depth at section 2 will remain constant. The depth at section 2, here it will remain at here. Okay. Okay, so in next class we'll discuss about the width contraction. Okay, thank you so much.